Previously on HomeBrew Detritus.
My grandmother was a cancer, or she actually died fighting a giant crab. So
That's not funny.
All this disposable.
I'm waiting on Matt to reboot before we do anything.
I'm done. A pre-game. Sorry. Not sorry.
And it slides out from inside the tree to the foot, and the vine is slowly closed back up.
Yoink! What the fuck's a hornet grabber?
yeah,
all the way confused.
A beholder?
She definitely pushed a treasure chest out of her tree vagina and gave it to you guys. What do you do?
That sentence has never been uttered in history.
The sky darkens, thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next episode.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
are you saying a monster corgi saves me from bad guys? Wild tits!
Well, this is his spot
Hey,
now.
I don't want to
apparently.
see your thing. What are you?
My wet ass pussy.
That didn't look that wet.
He's dry.
Yeah.
Anyway, his favorite spot's now on top of my fucking keyboard.
Yeah,
Have you
that's a
seen the
cat,
thing where
dude.
you get your cat their own laptop or their own keyboard and they
Yeah,
play
get-
with it?
Get a
Instead of
decoy.
bothering you?
But you have to make sure it's plugged in because they're there for the heat.
Yeah. Get a decoy keyboard.
I don't know. I wish I could show you guys this one TikTok where this chick's like, all right, so I heard about cats and what they're doing is called mirroring. And I heard that if you get them their own laptop, then they'll leave you alone while you're on yours. And so she had this cat set up at the thing and she's like, look at this little businessman. He's just chilling with the laptop happily.
Wait, leave it on the dog for a minute. That's right. Do what I fucking tell you.
That's
Better-
my level of pet effort.
That's power, folks. Power!
What's
What
it
is
like
correct?
sitting in that throne, that elevated throne, DN?
Actually, a good website for salt. It's an app. It's called Grinder, and local dudes around you will give you free salt.
Isn't
Really?
that kind of them?
Sometimes multiple dudes at the same time.
Wow.
Really? There's a lot.
I need a lot of salt.
Just make sure in all your pictures you're doing this, and they'll know.
But the salt delivery system is kind of moist.
Inefficient.
Yes, it's not nearly enough salt or protein.
Should I wear my mesh, my bad boy shirt when I'm on there?
Yes,
My-
you should definitely wear your mesh V-neck.
I really do have one.
But it totally for his Danzig costume.
All I'm hearing is a Patreon bonus.
Yeah, but you're like a foot and a half taller than Danzig.
Is he short? Really?
He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
5'5".
Is he really? There's the platform shoes you always wore.
Oh, but I
Stage
mean-
shoes. Stage shoes.
If you have one job available out there,
Yeah.
you can wear shoes that add 6 inches to your height. You're gonna take it, especially if you're a little angry man. Like Danzig.
I like.
That was the name of his first band.
Little angry man.
man.
That's
I
weird.
thought
It never
that-
bothered Dio. He named his first band Elf. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let me hold you,
Embrace it.
midget man, so the dog will quit licking your face.
He will see this, and he will be waiting for us.
I'll tag him. I don't care.
Hey,
Bring it, Danzig. What I got to
You're
lose?
in. You're in.
yeah, we have nothing right now.
We have
Actually,
eight.
wait until we get something. Then
Oh no!
it's fine. Everything we've just recorded, we are gonna get rid of anyway.
It's all garbage. It
The
was a terrible
Danzig
concept.
stuff is staying because I want to call that fucker out, even if it just gets us
Seriously.
some internet. If it gets us 8 plays, 8 people download the show, it'd be worth Danzig showing up into my house and trying to
Or
beat
or Danzig just watching it angrily 8 times. Motherfuckers.
Thank
Shut
you.
I think the most disturbing part of all this, and it's bothering me more than anything, it's Kevin on the fucking 4-3 aspect ratio while everybody else is on 16-9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just listen.
And at the 3-corner view of
Yeah, the difference is, both of y'all just look. Keep it how you had it.
It looks like y'all looking at each
Oh,
other.
no, you're in the same room.
Kevin, look down your hall.
Franks.
Kevin, look down your hall. God damn it, Kevin, look down your hall.
I'm looking at my hall.
Oh, God damn it.
There it is.
Kevin. Look there.
Oh, this is when you question why you're friends with any of these people.
You can't
Oh,
find
I know.
different ones.
Yeah, seriously.
it's really hard to find a D&D group these days.
If y'all want to make yourselves feel better, go to Grindr. You'll also feel like a single white girl because your inbox is going to be nothing but dick pics.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
All right. I mean, what do you like about Grindr, though?
The
Dick
sausage,
pics.
really.
Nothing. I don't use it.
But Noob does.
White Jones.
Oh.
He's just on the kick today because he finds it funny.
He's just trying to make you download Grindr because it's an app for gay dudes to hook up. There, I told you.
Oh, I thought it was a dating app.
Yeah, it is. But if you consider dating, meeting anonymously, fucking, and never talking again.
Most of the time in a grocery store.
But
And that's why
Damn it.
Piggly Wiggly's shut down all across the nation.
Damn it, Doshers.
That was.
This is like, I was looking at Doshers the other day, though. There was like 6 cop cars out there, and I was like, what in the hell could be going on
they must have all met on Grindr.
at Doshers?
Somebody didn't want to wear a mask.
It was
Ooh,
like
no.
all the police that
A
could be in that
cluster
area.
of cops who meet on Grindr is a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh,
And that's why we record for 30 minutes.
Dang, it really is. That's what.
how come you bust out with the cop jokes before I do?
Seriously. Go smoke some more, sir.
Previously, well, we do that plays on its own.
Currently on HomeBrew Detritus.
currently on
Currently
Detritus.
on HomeBrew Detritus.
Refresh me. Where were we? Were we in combat?
You were in the midst of combat. A familiar yet larger dog ran out of the woods and began to maul the wizard Strix, who was about to slash Dorian's throat. Then the cloud darkened and a loud thunderclap happened. And that's where we left off.
So it was the giant corgi, right? Like the giant corgi was like running out of the woods and
Well, that was a joke. I
grabbing.
made.
It's basically a large hound dog,
Like a wolfhound or like a mastiff?
like a hound, but larger than a hound should be.
It's what I suspect. You said it does look familiar, other than its size.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is Task's.
Hey, you remember the name?
Taz. The
Is it?
No, Matt. No.
but I would just like to point out, if a corgi was giant, it would be like a hound and would be scary.
I'd like
I
to
like
point out
that.
that your opinion doesn't matter.
I know that. I know
This is the
that.
part where the dog rescues me.
Yes.
Yes, this dog rescued, supposedly, Dorian and began to maul the wizard Strix. There was a loud thunderclap, and at that
That's
point,
tragic.
you're all blinded. As a shriek of lightning comes out of this impromptu black cloud and hits the remaining Strix that was in the tree. It ignites in fire and falls to its death. As the, when you see a bright light, the fizzle
After image.
after image. As the after image fades, you can see that the wizard Strix is no longer alive, as the hound has ripped its throat out.
Andy.
You turn
Nice
in
boy.
shock at the now tree that is on fire to see a small silhouetted humanoid shape come out of the darkness. As he gets close to the firelight, You guys recognize him as Task, the one that initiated all of you into the order. Yes, Razbad, you were correct. You get a Benny.
Benny.
Oh, come on. It was obvious.
Episode 9. Let's start the Bennies.
Do we want to call them bennies?
Yeah,
Why not?
we're
Okay.
straight stealing Bennies from Savage Worlds and putting them into our homebrew
Detritus.
Pathfinder First Edition game.
With the plug.
Yeah.
There you go.
Eventually, we
Alright.
might play some Savage Worlds. I don't know.
I would
Yeah.
like that.
I liked
But,
it.
for those of you who are listening and aren't familiar with Savage World system, it's a different type of tabletop role-playing game, but they have this thing called bennies where players have a token, and if they roll terrible, they can spend that token to re-roll the roll. And Razbad will be the first one in our group to get a benny, and I will give them out arbitrarily or with money or, sexual favors. I'm down for whatever. I need.
Hey, someone has a very unfair advantage here. Matt.
If anybody were to, like, let's say, leave a comment in YouTube to say, hey, Toker, we think so and so deserves a Benny, would you take that into consideration?
As soon as we're making enough money where I can hire somebody to make sure that those aren't hacked accounts from Terrence, because I'm only bringing you up, Terrence, because I got super excited this past weekend when Thomas the house cat befriended us, and then I realized Paul the house
Paul
cat,
T. House
sorry,
Oh,
and then I realized that was your fucking cat's YouTube account.
you don't remember Paul from when
I
we used
remember
to game
Paul,
at
yeah.
Terrence's house? And Paul the house cat didn't. I mean, he was really being.
He just thought it was really coincidental that Paul T. House cat.
With a picture
On
of my
the
cat.
internet.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen his house cat.
It's been a long time since I've seen my house cat. I left him with a
all the time
dip.
since I seen my dice that the house cat stole.
The cat stole his dice.
Why is that starting? I don't want that shit there. I was
Oh,
adding
yeah.
images.
Nobody wants that.
Please
there.
don't put porn in your background.
And noob, keep it on your bathroom for the Patreon.
I don't want to get away from game again, but I just want to say I looked up and it looked like you were laying in bed with a cripple lady because that looked like crutches and a bed. And I wasn't surprised because I've known you for a while. Task walks out of the woods. He seems exhausted and out of breath. He makes a strange whistling sound, and his hound companion ceases mauling the Strix wizard and runs to the creek to begin washing himself off. Some level of higher animal intelligence.
Clever dog.
I've made it in time. Is everyone okay?
We are.
Fine, thanks to that
Why
fog.
were you worried?
That's a story probably better told in a safer place. We should probably head back to your camp. And he points in the direction your camp was.
Somebody check the bodies though. We need loot.
On it.
There we go.
I'll check over the wizard's Strix while they're talking.
What are you saying, noob?
I was gonna say, does he wear in the ring?
Give me a perception check.
Oh.
That is an 11 plus 3, so 14.
He does appear to be wearing the ring.
Okay, cool.
Kage bends down to retrieve his father's glaive.
So Akage, as you go to retrieve your father's glaive, it dawns on you that that might be the first time ever you've willingly dropped it. You don't know if it was the heat of battle or if it was the recent kind of mind probing that the glaive gave you, the glade from in the little Fey pocket dimension. But as your fingers touch your father's glaive, you are instantly kind of paralyzed for a second, and your mind goes back to what starts off as a fond memory. Your mind's eye opens, and across a meticulously cultivated garden of flowers, drops of dew glimmer with the reflection of the breaking dawn. The flower bed adorns just one of the courtyards within Cordaimur Manor. the palatial, sprawling estate of Imperial High Noble Noboru Kodaimyo. At this early hour, servants and palace staff are just now raising to their task in order to keep the manor in a state of perpetual readiness to receive visits from foreign diplomats or from other high-ranking imperial nobles. The staff begin to scurry about the grounds and halls of the palace, lighting the kitchen stoves, preparing the grand dining hall, gathering the tools to polish the varnished hardwood floors or brush the rugs and runners. From outside, within the stone garden, grunts of exertion and the clanging of steel on steel ring out in the courtyard. Amid the sand and boulders, two figures cross blades, their feet kicking up sand as they dodge each other's attacks.
Very good.
The older man grins as he parries the slashing blade of the glaive with his katana. His breathing is steady as he says,
Master Rohiro has been instructing you well. You have improved much.
A 12-year-old Akage Yora tries to remain stoic, but still smiles at the praise. In spite of the sweat running into his eyes and his labored breathing, he is determined to land just one hit on the older man. Manor Lord Imperial High Nobu. Manor Lord Imperial High Nobu. Nobu.
Great mind.
Your fucking Japanese names. Manor Lord Imperial High Noboru Kodayamo, Akage's father. At the opening in Lord Kodayamo's defense, Akage lunges, thrusting his glaive with absolute confidence he will connect. With dizzying speed, the older man spins to the side and strikes the shaft of Akage's glaive. The blow is hard enough to make the bones in the boy's arm vibrate and send the polearm flying from Akage's hands.
You have improved, but there is still much you have left to learn, young Akage.
Noboru says with a smile.
Retrieve your weapon. Let's have another round. Thank you, Lord Kyodamyo.
Akage stumbles over his words. He very nearly referred to the Lord as father, a grave misstep. Manor Lord Kodayamo, a cold, hard, and feminine voice calls from the balcony above the stone garden. Akage watches his father's jovial, doting face shift to a more stoic and appropriate expression. He turns his back to Akage and asks,
Yes, my lady wife.
What exactly is it that you're doing with that creature? Manor Lady Kodaimyo glares down at Akage, her beautiful face twisted by a look so full of venom and hatred the boy has to look away.
I would think it obvious, my dear.
Kodayama replied with a stiff formality.
I am assisting Master Rohiro in the training of a young vassal.
Training a vassal, not spending time with his son, Akage thinks to himself. As your lady wife, it is my obligation to remind you of your duty to your noble guest. You do not have time to waste with children, especially not one of your harem bastards. Manor Lady spits the words as though they were made of poison. Go back to your horde mother's den, pup. Go back to where you belong and trouble your betters no more. Her fingers wiggle in an odd gesture as she mutters the old tongue, and a pulse of magical power flows from her. A wave of dread slams into Akage's mind, leaving him unable to do anything but tremble in fear. With wide eyes, the boy looks to his father, hoping within his fear-stricken mind that the Lord would come to Akage's defense and rebuke the woman for casting magic at a mere child, hoping that his father would protect his own son for once. But without turning toward the boy, Kodayama snaps at Akage.
You heard the manor lady, boy. Obey her.
And as you come back, give me a perception check.
That's not great. That's a 3 on the dice, giving me a 7.
You have to tug at the spear a little bit, but some vines pull away from it, and you think nothing more of it. The rest of you were going through looting the bodies. None of you noticed it. None of you noticed that for the rest of you, that was a second hesitation in picking up his spear off the ground, or his glaive, excuse me.
Perception for looting the body, 26.
So the ones that were just the three, I believe it was three, that were just shooting arrows at you have basic longbows, basic arrows, basic leather armor, things you could take if you really wanted to. Nothing super of value. A dagger on each. The wizard, on the other hand,
Ew.
his dagger seems to be of masterwork quality. He has a potion and two very rough vellum scrolls tucked away in a pouch.
All right.
But he's wearing no armor, just robes.
I'll just nab up those other things, show them to the party, and say, we need to get that crate across the river there. But remember, don't carry the box. We'll be swept away. I don't think that's going to support more than one person at a time.
Out of character, which of us has who can learn scrolls from, or who can learn spells from scrolls? Anybody?
I think wizards and witches and...
I guess that would be me or Mahogany.
She's an oracle. I don't think she learns them that way either.
I don't know.
I think it's wizards and witches mostly.
No, she's a divine caster.
Yeah, and I can't learn except from my familiar.
But I do believe there is a way for your familiar to act as though your spell book. I believe there is a way for you to learn spells through scrolls, but I don't know the complexities.
Yeah, I'll look into it and look and double check. It's like my first witch, so I'm not sure, but I remember reading something to the contrary, but it may have been something else. But that's cool. I can do spell. Do we have time to do a couple quick spellcraft to kind of for Cullen to glance over to find out what those scrolls are?
If you don't want to dig through the ones on the box, you could probably do that for the ones that he just pulled off the wizard's body.
Yeah, I'll hand those over. Sure, have a look.
And we never divvied up the stuff that was in the box, did we?
We're only divvying it up to carry it, mainly, just so we get across the bridge without...
Yeah, I've got room for an encumbrance, so I figure I could throw most of it into my pack and...
Well, that defeats the purpose of splitting it up. We want to make the loads light as possible. If you're carrying...
Good point.
Wait.
What was that spellcraft?
24.
Okay. One of the scrolls on the wizard is a scroll of invisibility. One of them is a scroll of dispel magic. And the potion is a potion of vanish.
Potion of vanish?
As you're identifying the scrolls and potions, you realize that there's also a slight magical aura coming from the dagger itself. And it is a +1 dagger.
Ooh.
+1 dagger. Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
There you go,
First
Dorian.
magic weapon.
Better to kill us with, traitorous bastard. Probably not.
What?
But as you guys are going through your looting, you will hear Task eventually say, "These tribes are heavy in number, so we should probably make way with the father's possessions you've recovered and head back to your campsite."
Yes.
My thought as well.
And we'll split up the weight of the chest among the group and make way back to the camp.
Do we want to leave this chest here? Or throw it in the river?
That sounds like a good idea, too. Kick.
Okay.
Let's divvy up the contents of the chest and go through it. Who's actually going through the chest and pulling things out to hand it to people?
I brought it up. And since I'm the one that is supposed to be looking out for traps, I suppose I...
Okay. Give me a perception check as you get towards the bottom.
Right. Let's see. That gives me a 22.
Okay. So you pull out this large shield, a really nice bow, and then it's wands and scrolls, a rack that's got a bunch of potions in it. You get towards the bottom and you can find tucked away little jewelry cases. You start handing those off, and just as you think you're done, you realize there's a little secret compartment in the bottom of the treasure box. As you peel that back open, you can see that there's another small like maybe what you would keep like a wedding ring, like a ring box or something in, locked up. But it's got this fine chain wrapped around it and an impressive lock, keeping the chain taut around it.
All right. I pull out one of my my heavier disguise gloves. Pull it on. Pull it out. What do you think? Dangerous?
You have to check magic on it.
Sure.
Detect evil.
You do not detect any evil.
Does it look
I don't
anything
know.
like the box that we found the crystal particles in?
It does not.
Okay.
It doesn't have any of the similar runes or anything on it. The only thing is it looks like a ring box, but it's just got this really fine chain that's wrapped around it that's locked it in place.
Check mat. I mean, does it show as magical?
Maybe we should just look at this once we get to our camp.
All right. I'll tuck it in my vest pocket and let's head out.
But you did not detect any. You detected faint magic, but you can tell it's coming from within the box, and whatever the box is made out of is hampering it. Your ability to detect what it is.
Okay. So we'll head on.
Could everybody give me a wisdom check?
Got a 5 on the dice, which gives me a 5.
I have a 5 on the dice, which gives me a 6.
I have a total of 9.
I got a 12.
Just the
21.
21.
21.
20 points higher than Matt there, I believe.
Yeah, I rolled a
I
natural
got what
20.
you got. I
on
got
that.
the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Founder, as everybody's kind of going over the box and stuff, you look back towards Task, and he seems to be getting a little impatient, and it kind of dawns on you that he pointed in the direction of your camp, but he didn't come from the direction of your camp.
Who's closest to me?
I will roll a random dice. It will not be Razbat or Dorian because they were going through the box. So it'll be between Akage, Matt, and Noob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Amon is the closest member of your party to you.
So I like kind of turn around so Task can't see me, and I just kind of stretch and I say, "Hey, Amon, did you notice that? How does he know where we're camped? What do you think?"
That's a good question.
Let's try.
Now, you said he was wearing the ring, and we'd only notice that ring if other people are wearing the ring.
Right.
I'll slip off my ring, just like in my hand,
The ring that he's wearing vanishes.
and I'll put my ring back on. I mean, I'll point to the ring to Saunders, like, he does a lot of weird stuff.
I want to let who's the next closest. I want to let somebody else know as nonchalantly as possible without drawing his attention.
Give me a stealth or a bluff.
It's 14 on the die, so I think I'm gonna go with bluff. That's a 20.
Okay, so you can slip a message secretly to either Akage or Matt at this point.
So I'm gonna go to Matt. What is your name again? Cullen?
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Bad Boy for Life, Cullen. And
got my shirt.
I'm gonna whisper. I'm just gonna be like, "How did he know when we were camped? How did he know? How did he know?"
A good question. He may not have known where we camped, but he could have followed our trail to the camp and then been searching for us until he heard the sounds of battle. It's possible, or he could have been monitoring us the whole time, which
All right,
is
so
also possible.
I'm gonna ask Task. I'm gonna be like, "Hey," it's like, "Thanks for I'm gonna tell him thank you for saving us." And ask him how he found us, and then I'm gonna roll a sense motive on whatever he says.
Can I share a theory?
Sure.
I think his ring may be different from our ring in that he might be able to track us or see where we are with it.
Nice attempt at a Benny.
It was worth a shot.
I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong.
So, how did you find us? How did you find us, Task?
I'm a high-ranking member of an order that is secretive and used to gather information. You were never far from my sight.
That's a natural 20 on the sense motive.
He
So
is
that's
being
29.
bluntly honest with you.
Okay.
So,
I mean, he answered your question truthfully. He didn't really say how he's been watching you, but
An expert dodge. All right, are we all packed?
I mean, that's what I expected straight up anyway.
Yeah. Task, lead the way to the camp, sir.
as you guys finish divvying up the stuff and safely getting it across the old sway bridge, you see the hound is finished washing himself off in the creek and has run back to town. Ew. Dogs don't jerk off. They don't have thumbs.
It's a perfectly normal behavior.
Yeah, but they got tongues, so.
Yeah. My dog takes really long baths in that area. I'm just saying.
Okay, then.
But the dog runs up to Task, and now that the two of them are next to each other, you can tell that this is the same hound that followed him around to each of your locations when this campaign started to recruit you for the order. But it's big enough for him to ride now. And he climbs onto its back and begins heading towards your camp through the woods.
Does he shout tally-ho?
He does not. He missed the cue.
Damn.
He's got some splaining to do no matter what.
Mr. Task, your hound has gotten more impressive.
Yes, I'd watch its diet.
Well, the magic that holds this doesn't last forever, so come on.
We follow, or rather, we head toward the camp.
Yeah.
You guys get back to the now familiar campsite. Razbat and Akage, give me a perception check.
Which totals a 5.
Whoa! I rolled a 2, so that would be 12 if it's vision based.
Okay. Then you don't notice anything on the way back to the camp. Because your dice rolls are terrible.
How about the
I
Akage?
rolled over a 5.
Dorian was on the lookout the whole time.
This doesn't pertain to you, Dorian. Or
All right.
Wait, sorry. That negativity was directed at Matt, even though he mentioned Terrence's character. For that, I apologize.
Quit inspiring hate on me.
Yeah. By the time you guys get back to the camp, it is close to nightfall. Task has been somewhat quiet yet hasty through the woods, and he begins setting up his own little area of your campground, noticeably where nobody else had been sleeping the night before. Like, coincidentally, he knew not to, or whatever, but that's beside the point.
Ask him, do you want a debriefing? I know it's been at least a month since we spoke.
About your foray into the Salters, that's one of the reasons I'm here. I knew that you and your group was here. I think you handled that as well as any other member of the Order could. We may still have use for you inside that gang, but getting you back into town may have some difficulties, which is what brings me here. I lost track of you when you went into wherever the father was hiding that treasure. Last night there was a terrible blow to the Order and a lot of its members. First, I'd like to know where you retrieved the treasure. Were there any clues as to what the father mentioned about the lady that he'd written in his other note?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't quite follow it. The rest of them might have a better explanation.
The lady who walks. That is what she is called. It is believed that she is older than the first world.
That seems a little hard to believe.
As I thought as well.
Were there more notes in the treasure chest that had these ravings from the father in there?
Well, she also came out of this cursed box, and why the father had it. Little with the burn marks and dust. This was her prison.
Oh.
Maybe
There
just
were no
some powerful spirit.
There were no markings, but there was a cursed fang that was in the hiding place guarding the treasure that spoke of her.
The Glade is what she calls herself. She is a fey creature. The cursed Glade. She was a tree.
Everybody give me a sense motive check.
It's a 19.
Okay.
My bonus to that.
7.
I rolled a 16.
14.
7.
It's double digits. It's a 13.
19's the highest.
So,
Oh, we're still waiting on Kevin's roll.
25.
It was a 25.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sonder and Razbad, you notice that when the glade is mentioned, the task has no note of surprise. He, especially you, Razbad, you seem like he takes that information like it's something he already knew of. To mention the fate, to most people, you would get...
The Coven is in danger and Michael is the...
from disbelief, or notes of wonder from people who understand that the Fae are real. And I should probably splice in that... Ever watched Underworld? The old vampire wakes up, and the girl's talking to him, and he just in mid-sentence goes... And that's like how he gets her to shut up. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's because Bill Nye is phenomenal.
It is
he
Bill
is.
Nye. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm just messing it up and then thinking that it's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but no, that is his name. Cool.
He was also in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Played my favorite, Flarty Bartfast.
Hurry
Slarty
up.
Bartfast. That's what it is.
You don't want to be late. Late for what? No, as in the late Arthur did. It was a threat.
It's sort of a
Very
threat.
Yes. Hurry up or you'll be late.
We're following our old rules. If anybody's drinking, Mahogany jumped on it. Just did a movie quote.
Woo!
I just did it because I was thirsty.
Yeah, I'll do it too. I didn't hear why, but
Why aren't you drinking, noob? Cave to the peer pressure.
Did you see that half gallon of milk he was chugging earlier? He's got no room for booze.
being responsible.
That
gonna have-
is.
The worst diarrhea.
He was chugging chocolate milk.
I'm not chugging. I'm not a monster. Just drinking.
He was watching the latest Boys episode and just really liked how Homelander just tongues that milk.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know.
He
spoiler.
tongues milk in the first season.
It's
Oh, he
not a
does.
spoiler.
Yeah.
He does.
That milk was spoiled.
Matt Crosby
No,
will get up at 5 a.m. and have a fucking Bahama hot sausage and chocolate milk. I'm like, oh, how do you?
What a combination.
It's
Sounds
not
awesome.
a chocolate milk. It's a yoo-hoo.
It's still.
Oh,
Chocolate drink.
chocolate drink.
It's
And that's not a joke. It says that shit on the bottle.
chocolatey
It's
drink.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's not even chocolate drink. It's a chocolatey drink.
Chocolate-ish drink, perhaps.
Yeah.
They're
They found
great
these
though.
flavors. They didn't come from a milk or chocolate, but they taste like a chocolate milk drink. So
Fantastic.
It's a chocolatey drink.
Shake it.
shake it or it tastes like butthole.
Chocolate drink.
RC used to have like a version of Yoo-Hoo back before they got big or whatever it was called, Chocolate Soldier.
What?
Yeah, it was called the Chocolate Soldier. Like
What are you like? What are you like? 90?
Yes, I told you so. So like Royal
Who
Crown
references
Cola. which is-
RC?
I love an
RC
RC Cola.
You know, nobody, everybody here but noobs who remember RC Cola.
I know.
I
It's
used to
still
love
I like
around.
RC Cola.
Yeah, you could. I know RC Cola, but like they're random off brands before PepsiCo snapped them up or whatever. I do not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
well,
like referring to knee high.
I like those.
I love
Me too.
Knee High.
Those are
Peach Knee
good.
High
Those
is
are
the
good.
business.
Right? Peach
other
Knee High.
day,
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
other day. I was
sponsors Peach Knee High. You piece of shit. I mean, I love you.
No, the great knee high. I was in like this little
Great
market street,
European.
the key lime pie made by somebody that lived nearby, and it was fantastic. And they had like bottled knee highs, and it was great. Knee highs were awesome.
Anyway,
Bad ones.
No,
That
I wanna
story
do a
started off
segment.
so strong.
I just want to do a segment where Matt describes things that are too old for any of us to remember, and I just play like some old 50s jingles behind.
Back in my day.
Back in my day with Bad Boy for Life.
we all wore an onion on our belt, which is the fashion at the time.
He
the
definitely
fashion.
walked uphill both ways to school.
Yes, and it snowed. It snowed where up in the north where I was from.
The coven is in danger and Michael is the...
So what did we say? This guy is shady?
We also want to find out what he's talking about with the order taking a hit.
Why is there a cat butt in your face, dude?
He jumps in my lap.
Seriously.
What happened with the order?
Yeah.
There was a sense motive check, and y'all realized that he was not surprised by the knowledge of the cursed glaive.
I'm sorry, my weapon sounds so much like your area.
You made my job the hardest because you wanted to katanas and glaives and nobayaki names for people that I can't spell or read.
Noburu Kyodamyo.
You stuttered.
I did.
Next time, pronunciation guides in parentheses.
I'll remember that.
Cool.
All right, some of you guys that got the sense motive maybe press Taz a little more on his
I'm gonna clue us in.
actions or his reaction to the news.
Razbad and Sonder, you noticed that when he heard about the glade, he didn't react in the way that a normal person would, hearing that there's a Fey pocket dimension that y'all just left.
Mhm.
He reacted in a way like he already knew about it.
What's going on? Something you're not telling us. You're not telling us something, Task.
There's lots I haven't told you, but I've lived in Yharnam for a long time.
So yeah, what's the point if you're just gonna say I haven't told you shit, or I
It
can talk
is-
to them about it later?
I know secrecy may be a bit of a habit, but if there's some sort of emergency, perhaps we should know about it.
Why you
No,
got us
I-
on these missions if you're just following us and watching us and you already know everything that we're supposed to know? What's going
I did
on?
not know where the Fey realm was. It's nice to know that there's a location now. Thank you for that. I'm happy you've received the treasure.
There was nothing there.
There was.
You watched us divvy it up.
He helped us carry it back.
But I come bringing grave news about our order. And then he seems to be having a hard time making eye contact with both Razbad and Akage. The night after you left was one of the worst nights in the Order's history. We had supernatural threats pop up all over Yharnam. We sent more cells out in one night than we have in many decades. Most of those cells did not return home the next morning. Razbad, your mentor, Grizzle Dick. What's his name? Grizzle? Sorry.
Crystal Knock.
Your mentor, Grizzle Knock, is missing, presumed dead. Akage, your mother is also one of those missing.
She was not supposed to go on these missions anymore. That is why you had me join. She was not supposed to be a part of this anymore.
She volunteered when she saw how dire the situation was.
How long has she
Where
been
did you
missing?
send Grizzle
For the same, like I said, we had, to be blunt, we had undead rise up in several different locations of church burial grounds. We had what is my belief a were creature loose in the steel mills. And I still don't know what it was that was in the sewer that grabbed, well, members there too.
Where was she?
She was part of the sewer crew.
Shitty job.
I came here to make sure that you made it back into town safely. I owe her that much at least. And because there's going to be a bit of an issue of you all showing up together, I don't know how much this lady knows, but it might be best if you being the newest members of the order, we make sure that she does not gain knowledge of your presence.
How do we keep our presence a secret from this lady? Keeping it a secret from the rest of the order?
Because you are new, there's not many above me that even know of your existence. That is our first line of hope.
You think it might be an inside job?
They did say that there were good and bad members of the order.
I do not want to trouble you with the higher members of the order. Just know that people who have knowledge of you, I have knowledge of them.
My mother went into the sewers. Then I will go into the sewers.
Were any bodies recovered for your two loved ones?
The undead fight ended up getting protectorate attention. Those bodies were recovered and properly disposed of so that they would not rise again. The steel mill, or the mill works with the possible were creature encounter and the sewer encounters, those two cells are still missing. No bodies recovered.
Where was it that Grizzle was sent?
He was sent to the mill works.
What percentage of the order was wiped out?
Don't believe that is information that should leave my lips.
None yet.
None of
You
your
want us
fucking
to risk our
business.
lives for something, but we're still to be kept in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
If this lady is intelligent at all, that's information she could gain from one of you. So
Nothing wrong with the dark. It's an excellent hiding place.
let's hope that the father's treasure.
Are you implying you're not impounding it?
I don't have anybody to impound it
Fair
to
enough.
yet. We still need to get it back into the city. So if there's a way for us to use it to get back into the city easier, then who am I to look a gift horse in the mouth?
Let's figure out what it is, how we can use it.
What I'm hearing is we're basically on our own. This guy, Mr. Tight Lip over here, has really nothing to tell us except for we're on the hook for keeping this town safe. So let's see what we got.
We're all tools that he's using.
You're
What
a
do we
tool.
got?
That's what the dog says.
Oh wow, it talks now.
Yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, remember?
Yeah, it's got a voice.
Ow, wow! I am a dog.
If it's Danny DeVito is Tess.
It's just dog noises, but it's Arnold doing dog noises.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
Look at me barking. Bark, bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
I think I hear a squirrel. Bark!
Growl.
But let's get into some treasure and then we'll end the episode.
All right.
Yes.
Who's-
Or we-
Matt,
What?
you got this?
Swipe cut.
Yeah, so I gotta. Okay.
It's a +1 large wooden shield and a +1 composite longbow with a strength mod of +1. That's fine. The first one is a wand of magic missile. It appears to have about 18 charges left in it. And the other one is a wand of cure light with 22 charges. 2 scrolls of fireball,
Holy shit.
1 scroll of bark skin, two of them are potions of cure moderate.
Ooh, wow.
2 of them are potions of bear's endurance.
pretty good too.
And one of them is a potion of haste.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh shit, that's good.
Oh right, I reach into my my vest pocket and pull out the locked ring box.
Well, I mean, checking for traps. Just pick the lock, take the damn
Sure.
chain off. There's
I'll
some
give it
magic
a
on
I'll
the
give it
inside
a
of-
quick examination.
Okay.
Let's see, 15 plus 9. It's 24 for traps.
Does not appear to be trapped, but it is definitely a tiny but high-end lock.
Oh dear.
Smash
All
it
right,
into a tree.
let me get the little picks out. Hold on. I'm gonna give it a try first. Does 24 get it? If not, I will do the 20. They'll take 20.
A 24 does not get it, but nothing happens. So you can
All right.
take the 20. It'll take you about an hour of
All right.
tinkering with this lock.
That gives me 31 altogether.
And this is the hardest lock you've ever picked.
Huh.
But while you're picking the
No.
lock, we'll go through the last little bit before we get to that. There is an amulet, spellcraft. Cullen, you realize that is an amulet of bull strength.
A what?
Oh, wow.
Amulet of bull
Amulet of
strength.
bullshit.
+2 to strength.
What?
Cullen,
Alright.
it dawns on you in the morning. It will dawn on you that this is a very rare chitin ring.
Titan?
Kyton ring.
Ooh.
What does
That's
it
the
do?
chain
I can't look
devil.
This
Looking it up.
rusty iron ring looks like a twisted chain. On command, the ring can produce a rusty, clanky length of iron chain. The ring can create no more than 100 feet of chain this way. The total length can be split among many uses, but must be spent in 10-foot increments. When the daily's allotment of chain is renewed, any previous conjured chain rusts away. Once per day is a standard action. The user can shoot a chain from the ring as though it were a grappling hook, except the range increment is 50 feet.
Ah, it's cool.
So the last ring is a ring of far strike once per day.
I don't know what that does.
Ring of
This
fire
unassuming
strike.
black ring changes color to a silver pearlescent sheen when held near fire.
It's a mood ring.
Once per day is a standard action. The wearer can make a melee weapon attack or unarmed strike against the opponent within 30 feet. Wearer must be otherwise capable of performing the attack to use this ability.
Oh yeah.
Last but not least,
Aha! Got it.
Dorian, as you fiddle with this lock, fiddle with this rock, you can't help but notice how nice this length of chain is that's around it. It's not long, but it's a mithril chain. It's big enough to be used as a necklace.
And I will when we're done.
And you're able to pop the lock, and you open up, and inside the box,
Is a disintegration beam.
no, there is another ring. This white gold ring is generally set with a large green sapphire.
I pointed at the party. What do you think?
I say yes. I do.
What?
Roll spellcraft, Sonder. Roll good, because I rolled a 1.
Oh shit. I read 15.
I got a 9, so I can't even assist.
So this is a ring of regeneration.
Ooh.
Well, I could see why they were locking it up.
When worn, the ring continually allows the wearer to heal 1 point of damage per round and an equal amount of non-lethal damage. In addition, he is immune to bleed damage while wearing the ring of regeneration. If the wearer loses a limb, an organ, or any other body part while wearing this ring, the ring regenerates it as the spell. In either case, only damage taken while wearing the ring is regenerated. So you can't switch it around for the whole party to heal.
I think
Oh,
Kevin's
shit.
character should have that ring.
I agree.
I think so too. It won't help, but if we marry an undead bride and gave her that ring, would it kill her?
That would be awesome. Just walk up to female skeletons propose, and when they put on the ring, they die.
I'm just wondering, like,
Over
your
time.
in-depth knowledge of like hip ratios and shit lets you know which skeletons are female.
Yeah.
It's all
Can
about
you
the
fit a
pelvis.
baby's head through that pelvis?
The
That's a
pelvic
female.
ball. Wait a minute, we had scrolls of fireball, so that's always good.
Yeah.
I'll take one, Sandra. You take. You can cast arcane, right?
It was at this point the party devolved into bickering over who got what magic items. It went on for some time. A long time. Too long of a time. Who gets this? Who gets that? Who gets this? All that really matters is that ring of regeneration. That very powerful ring of regeneration. A ring of regeneration that they identified with a very low spell check. Noob won it in a roll-off.
You guys know what the real treasure is? People who like and subscribe. Write down,
And comment.
hit the buttons, comment, tell us things.
Tell us your favorite treasure. Tell us who got fucked over in that deal if you caught it.
Did Kevin deserve being just ass rammed by Noob? Because let's face it, he was.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Give us your
We're
opinion.
all kind of rooting for Noob to die now, so because
Me too, honestly.
Should Cullen cast Obscuring Mist in every combat?
no.
Don't even ask that question because they'll say yes because they know that it'll fuck us over. And that's funny.
What? No,
Our
it's not
audience
funny.
does not want to just fuck us over.
No, the people who
Such as
comment.
they are.
Yes.
You hear that? He doesn't trust you guys.
You hear that, Jeff? 1% who listens and comments every time.
I'm counting on you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Sticker.
Thanks,
Hey,
Jeff.
if anybody else wants to hear your name on our stream, like, subscribe, comment. We'll shout you out.
Yeah, we have no shame.
One more thing before we go. We made all those French jokes about croissants and whatever.
Yeah.
I saw on our website. French dude downloaded the new episodes. We
All right.
Yay!
We'll try to make fun of the Germans more. Thank you.
We'd like
like
to
the French
apologize.
All right, see y'all.
Guys, we are going to get murdered. When you've got that much good stuff at this level, we're going to die.